Have you ever walked past a penny lying on the ground and just kept going? What if I told you that you may have just stepped over $662,000? Yes, that's right. One tiny, reddish-brown coin. Not gold, not silver, just copper. The 1962 Lincoln Memorial penny with a small D beneath the year. A coin you might already own. A coin that could literally change your life. But here's the catch. Most people who have this coin don't even know what they're holding. Stick with me because what I'm about to show you could turn your junk drawer into a jackpot. And hey, quick question before we dive in. If someone handed you a single cent and told you it was worth more than a Ferrari, would you laugh or would you ask how fast you could sell it? Let's find out. Back in 1962, America was shifting fast. Cold War tension, civil rights marches, a young JFK in the White House. But amidst all this history, the U.S. Mint in Denver quietly released millions of pennies into circulation. These coins weren't flashy, just honest, everyday money, the kind you'd toss in a tip jar or forget in your jeans pocket. And yet, tucked inside that massive release, a few rare variations were born by mistake. That's right. Minting errors, decrecs, off-center strikes, double dies, all hidden in plain sight. Some coins had slightly misaligned dies, causing the Lincoln portrait to appear shifted. Others had lettering doubled or misplaced, making them exceptionally rare. These quirks, invisible to most, sent collectors into a frenzy decades later. But the crown jewel? One 1962 penny, flawless in condition, rare in error and verified by experts, sold for a jaw-dropping $662,000. Let that sink in. A coin worth 1 cent when it was made, now worth more than some homes. And the best part? Could still be sitting in your coin jar right now. Alright, now here's where it gets serious. If you're sitting at home with a dusty coffee can full of old change, this is the time to grab it. Because spotting a fortune starts with knowing what to look for. Point 1. Look for the D mint mark. It stands for Denver. You'll find it right under the year 1962 on the front.
Node.
This is from Philly, still cool, but not our star. Point 2. Examine the surface. Mint condition pennies shine, literally.
Nos crashes, no descoloration, no dentens.
These are called uncirculated or MS-grade coins. Point 3. Double die obverse. Use a magnifying glass. Check the words Liberty or In God We Trust. If you see any doubling, letters that look like they're ghosting, jackpot. Point 4. Off-center strikes or die breaks. This is where the coin looks misaligned or has strange cracks and lines. These are called planchet flaws or die cracks. They're rare, they're odd, and collectors love them. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Wait, did I just throw one of these away in a vending machine last week? Yup, and someone else might now be sitting on your retirement fund. Funny how life works, right? But here's where it gets wild. One particular 1962 penny was almost discarded by a collector in Kansas because it looked too perfect to be real. That same coin was later graded and auctioned for over 600 grand. What made that coin stand out? What separated it from the other millions? We're getting to that. And trust me, it's going to blow your mind. Let's say you do find a promising 1962 penny. What now? Step 1, don't clean it. Seriously, leave it be. Cleaning a coin can drop its value by thousands. Even if it looks dusty or tarnished, let the professionals evaluate it as is. Step 2, get it graded. Send it to a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. They'll inspect, authenticate, and assign it a value. If it ranks high, mint state 67 or above, you're looking at serious money. Step 3, know your buyers. Auction houses, online platforms, private collectors. Don't rush the sale. Sometimes waiting for the right collector can double your payout. Remember, you're not just selling a coin. You're selling history, rarity, legacy. You're turning copper into gold. And if that's not worth 10 minutes of your time, what is? Now, if this video made you run to your coin jar or Google double die penny just now, good. That means you're on the right track. There are coins out there worth more than your paycheck, your car, even your house. And people are cashing in every single day because they know what to look for. So here's your next move. Subscribe right now for more breakdowns on high-value coins hiding in plain sight. Hit that bell so you don't miss the next rare treasure we reveal. Because the difference between a penny and a payout is knowledge. And I just handed you the map. What if I told you there could be a small copper coin hiding in your junk drawer, worth $670,000? Yes, 1 cent, 1 penny, from 1970, with a small D mark under the year. Could that be sitting in your home right now? Before you roll your eyes and toss that change jar back in the corner, listen carefully. Somewhere out there, someone unknowingly spent a fortune for a candy bar, and another person just retired early thanks to a lucky find in a dusty old coin collection. Here's the twist. This isn't just about a penny. It's about opportunity. Missed by millions, claimed by only AFEW. So the real question is, are you the person who throws away wealth or the one who finds it? Let's break it down. Because the 1970 Lincoln Memorial penny isn't just a coin. It's a millionaire's ticket disguised as pocket change. Let's start with a little background. The 1970 Lincoln Memorial penny was minted in Denver. Most of these pennies are worth face value today, but a small number of them were struck with rare errors so precise, so subtle, only trained eyes and a little luck can spot them. First, the double die obverse. You may notice Lincoln's profile looks slightly doubled, or the letters and "I in God we trust" might appear blurry or shadowed. This isn't a smudge, it's a minting error, and it's exactly what pushes this penny into the six-figure club. Second, the bold date. Some 1970 pennies show a heavier, thicker font on the numbers, especially the 0. Collectors love this. And when collectors love something, prices explode. And finally, the condition. If your coin is uncirculated or even close to it, you're sitting on something most Americans would never recognize as rare. Let's be honest. Most of us treat pennies like those old ketchup packets in the back of the fridge. They're there. They exist. We just don't care until it's an emergency. Well, this is your ketchup emergency. Except instead of adding flavor, it could add financial freedom. You see, one of these coins recently sold at auction $4,670,000. And you know what? That seller didn't have a degree in numismatics. They weren't a seasoned collector. They were just someone curious enough to look and bold enough to CT. So how rare is this coin? Really? Some estimates suggest there may be fewer than 40 of the high-grade error specimens in existence. And most of them are already tucked away in elite collections. That's why finding one now is like hitting a hidden jackpot. But let's not forget the person who found it and the person who unknowingly spent it. Which side do you want to be on? Coming up, I'll share the simple steps you can take right now to identify, evaluate, and potentially sell your 1970 penny for a life-changing sum. But first, a question. When was the last time you looked at a penny, really looked at it? Because if it was before this video started, you might be staring at six figures right under your nose. Here's what you do next. Go grab your coin jars. Check your dresser drawers. Dust off those old family albums. You know, the ones Grandpa used to keep his special change in. Look specifically for the 1970 date, the small D mint mark, signs of doubling on the front, a sharp, uncirculated surface, and when you find something promising, don't clean it. Don't tamper with it. Instead, get it graded by a trusted coin certification service like PCGS or NGC. Because even a near match to this rarity could still sell for thousands. Now imagine that. 1 minute you're holding a forgotten coin. The next you're walking away with a check that could wipe out debt, buy a car, or fund your next big dream. Inspiring music builds slightly. This isn't about coins. It's about vision. It's about seeing value where others see nothing. The wealthy don't just work harder. They pay closer attention. So if you're serious about transforming your old coin stash into new wealth, subscribe to this channel right now. Because each week, we uncover another hidden gem that's changing lives. You don't need to be lucky. You just need to be aware. And remember, that penny in your pocket might not be 1 cent. It might be one decision away from $670,000. Stay curious. Stay focused. And whatever you do, don't spend that penny until you've checked it first. Imagine finding a penny so rare, so valuable that it could completely erase your debts, fund your dream retirement, or even buy your next home in full. Now imagine that penny has been hiding in your junk drawer all along. Yes, it's true. A small copper coin minted in 1973, stamped with a simple little D below Lincoln's bust, is turning average folks into overnight millionaires. And here's the kicker. These coins are not locked away in museums or private vaults. They are still in circulation. Right now, as you watch this, that treasure could be in your pocket, your change jar, or stuck between the couch cushions. The 1973 D Lincoln Memorial Cent. Just one of these rare pennies has recently sold $4,673,000. Now ask yourself, what would you do with $673,000 from a single penny? This isn't just about coins. This is about spotting value where others see none. It's about turning your everyday surroundings into a gold mine. But before you go flipping over every coin in your house, stay with me. Because in the next few minutes, we're going to uncover exactly what makes this humble penny so extraordinary, and how you can tell if you own one of these life-changing treasures. And I promise, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Point 2:30. The history behind the coin. The year was 1973. Gas was 40 cents a gallon, Nixon was in the White House, and the U.S. Mint was churning out billions of Lincoln pennies. But in the Denver Mint, known by the D mark, something unusual happened. Some coins were struck with unusual precision, using leftover planchets from previous years, or experimental blanks never meant for circulation. Others showed doubling, minting errors, and copper composition anomalies that make collectors drool. These pennies may look ordinary at first glance, but under magnification, they reveal a hidden world of unique defects, and those defects are worth serious money. Point 3:45. What makes this penny worth $673,000? So why would anyone pay hundreds of thousands for a coin that originally cost 1 cent? It all comes down to a rare combination of minting errors like double dyes or off-center strikes, unusual coloration, or planchet composition. Some are struck on bronze instead of copper-plated zinc. Immaculate condition. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC. Low population. Only a handful are confirmed to exist in this elite tier, and if you're wondering if your penny is special, here's the golden rule. If it looks just a bit different, don't spend it. Inspect it. Point 4:45. Pattern. Interrupt quick. Reality check. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before dropping it into the tip jar? Really looked at it. If your answer is never, congratulations. You're exactly like most people, and that's why you could be the one to spot the million-dollar mistake no one else did. Point 5:15. Real-life story. One man in Ohio found his 1973 D penny in a box of his late grandfather's belongings. He almost gave it to his kid for show and tell. But something about the color seemed odd, so he took it to a local coin shop. They sent it in for grading. And a few months later, that 1-cent coin fetched over $670,000 at auction. True story. No gimmicks. No secret vault. Just awareness and timing. Point 6:30. How to identify one in your own collection. A bold, clear, D mint mark. Smooth, lustrous surface. No scratches. No wear. Unusual copper tone. Some look almost red or golden. Errors like double die obverse, die cracks, or off strikes. If you find one that matches even a few of these traits, it's time to get that beauty professionally graded. And here's the twist. Some of the most valuable 1973 D pennies don't even show obvious flaws to the naked eye. What you can't see is sometimes the most profitable part. Let's get real. Most people will toss a penny without thinking. But you now know something they don't. You know that the smallest, most overlooked object in your home might be the key to financial freedom. This isn't about being lucky. This is about being aware, being curious, being smart enough to act. Right now, someone is sitting on a $673,000 penny without a clue. Don't let that be you. Here's what to do next. Dig through your jars, drawers, and boxes. Set aside every 1973 penny you find with a D mint mark. Look closely for anything unusual. Color, condition, or striking, and when in doubt, always get it checked by a coin grading service. Don't wait. Don't assume. Don't spend that penny until you're sure. Because sometimes 1 cent is all it takes to change your life. And if you want to learn more about how to find coins worth thousands, even millions, right from your own home, subscribe now, because next time it could be a nickel, or a quarter, or a dime you never looked at twice. What if I told you that a single penny, a 1-cent coin you may have tossed into a jar or dropped behind the couch, could be worth $688,000 today? No, this isn't a fantasy or a late-night infomercial. This is real. This is the story of the 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial Cent. A coin so rare, so sought after, that collectors have paid near $1 million just to claim it. And guess what? It might already be in your possession. Before you write this off as another internet myth, stick around. Because in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why this penny is turning everyday people into overnight millionaires, and how you could be next. But first, a quick question. When was the last time you really looked at your spare change? Let's rewind to 1988. George H. W. Bush was about to be president. The average gas price was under $1, and the U.S. Mint was producing Lincoln Memorial pennies by the billions. Now here's the twist: the Philadelphia Mint, which normally produces coins without a mint mark, accidentally released a small batch of pennies with a microscopic design flaw. These 1988 pennies had no mint mark and a rare reverse detail on the Lincoln Memorial design, inherited from an earlier 1989 prototype die. This anomaly was almost impossible to catch with the naked eye, but sharp-eyed collectors noticed something. A slight variation in the FG initials on the reverse side. The spacing, the curvature, subtle yet revolutionary. This wasn't just a mistake. It was a golden ticket. Now here's where it gets wild. One of these rare 1988 no-mint mark pennies, authentic and verified, recently sold at auction for an earth-shaking $688,000. That's not pocket change. That's a luxury home, a life reset, a full retirement plan, all from a copper-colored penny most people overlooked. And they're still out there. Let me guess, you just looked over at your junk drawer, didn't you? Hey, you're not alone. One guy reportedly found his rare penny while cleaning out a peanut butter jar he was using as a piggy bank. That peanut butter paid off better than the stock market data, so why is this penny worth hundreds of thousands? Rarity is the first reason. Fewer than a few dozen verified examples exist today. The 1988 no-mint mark transitional reverse design makes it one of the most elusive modern-era Lincoln cents. The second reason is demand. Coin collectors, especially serious numismatists, are obsessed with transitional errors and historical anomalies. Owning one is like holding a piece of a secret history. And finally, condition matters. The highest graded 1988 transitional pennies in mint state condition with no mint mark can fetch eye-watering prices. Even those in worn circulation can pull in 5 or 6 figures. Now here's the scary part. Most people have no idea they're holding one. Every day, these pennies are unknowingly used at vending machines, tossed in tip jars, or handed to grandkids to throw into fountains. Each time one of these coins vanishes back into circulation, its value skyrockets. Because there are fewer left for collectors to find. So if you're thinking, oh, I probably don't have one, let me ask you, are you sure? Are you willing to throw away $688,000 without checking? And here's the kicker. Most people don't even know where to look. But in just a moment, I'll show you the exact place on your 1988 penny to check for this rare feature. Plus how to get it professionally valued without getting scammed. But first, a friend of mine named Carl, he's in his 50s, retired truck driver from Ohio, called me in disbelief a few months ago. He said, "You're not going to believe this, man. I found that weird penny you were talking about." He sent me a picture. Sure enough, it had the telltale reverse design flaw. He sent it in for grading and it came back certified. That coin sold for over $350,000. Carl is now debt-free. He bought a lake house. And all because he didn't throw away his change. So what now? Step 1. Grab any 1988 Lincoln pennies you can find, especially those with no visible mint mark beneath the date. Step 2. Flip it over. Look at the Lincoln Memorial. Focus on the initials FG near the bottom right of the building. If the initials seem too close together or thinner than usual, you may have something special. Step 3. Don't clean the coin. Don't try to fix it. That can ruin the value. Step 4. Take clear, close-up photos and send them to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC, or visit a certified coin dealer in your area. You could be sitting on a nearly $700,000 miracle. But don't wait. Every day, more of these coins disappear into forgotten drawers or are lost forever. Time is money, literally. And just when you thought this penny was rare, wait until you hear about the Lincoln cent from 1992 that's even more valuable and looks nearly identical to a regular penny. That video is coming next. You won't want to miss it. So if you want more hidden coin secrets, more million-dollar penny stories, and real tips to turn forgotten change into real wealth, hit that subscribe button now. And remember, sometimes the key to a wealthy lifestyle is already in your hands. Literally. What if I told you that a single penny, yes, 1 cent, hiding inside your change jar could be worth nearly $700,000? That's not a dream. It's not a gimmick. And it's not a myth. We're talking about the 1989 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. A coin so rare, so overlooked, it's quietly turning everyday Americans into overnight millionaires. And the best part? Could be sitting right in your house right now. But here's the twist. Most people throw it away. Now let that sink in. So before you spend another coin or pass over another penny, listen closely, because over the next 10 minutes you're going to discover how to recognize this small copper miracle, what makes it so valuable, and how it could be your ticket to the wealthy lifestyle you deserve. But first, ask yourself, what if you already had it and didn't know? The Lincoln Memorial penny, an icon of American change, both literally and historically. First minted in 1959 to honor Lincoln's 150th birthday, the design continued into the late 1980s. But in 1989, something strange happened. A batch of Lincoln pennies was released without any mint mark, a subtle error that would slip by the world unnoticed. Now let's pause here for a second. You might be thinking, so what? It's just missing a letter. Exactly. But that's the pattern interrupt right there. In numismatics or coin collecting, errors are gold. Minting mistakes create rarity. Rarity creates demand. And demand? Well, that's where the dollar signs start to dance. Tone shifts, friendly and slightly humorous. Think of it like this. Imagine a factory accidentally made 300 golden chocolate bars. Then one had no wrapper. That naked bar? Suddenly, it's a collector's dream. Same chocolate, wildly different price. Now, back to our penny. The 1989 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, especially one in pristine uncirculated condition, has fetched as much as $689,000 at high-end auctions. And the people who've cashed in? Regular folks. People who were cleaning out a drawer, sorting change for laundry, or helping their kids with a coin project. One man in Ohio found his inside a coin jar from the 90s. Thought it was worth $1 or $2. He walked away with $500,000. Still think your pennies are just pocket weight? Okay, let's get practical. How do you know if you have the jackpot penny? Step 1. Pull out every 1989 penny you've got. Step 2. Flip them under bright light and mint mark below the year 1989. And a sharp, crisp design with minimal wear. The cleaner the coin, the higher the value. If it looks like it just came from the bank in 1989, you may be onto something big. Now here's where it gets intense. There are counterfeits out there. Shady types trying to cash in by sanding off the mint mark. But pros know what to look for: the spacing of the lettering, the die marks, the exact texture of copper over time. Which means, don't try to DIY your millions. Get a coin professionally graded. PCGS and NGC are the gold standards in coin authentication. And once it's confirmed, the coin market is booming. Collectors are paying record-breaking prices at online auctions, private sales, and collector expos, because coins like these only come around once in a generation. And hey, if you're already Googling how to sell a rare penny during this video, don't worry, you're not alone. Welcome to the club. Now imagine this: you wake up tomorrow, open that junk drawer, and find that 1989 penny. No mint mark, gleaming back at you, and just like that, your life changes. The debts vanish. The dream home? Within reach. Retirement? Covered. Generational wealth? Possible. All because you took 10 minutes to learn what most people never will. But here's the final question. What other coins are hiding in your home worth thousands, or even millions? We've only scratched the surface. There are dozens, even hundreds, of rare US coins out there right now, each holding the power to unlock your financial freedom. So if you're serious about transforming spare change into serious wealth, hit that subscribe button. This channel is your map, and the treasure is already in your hands. What if I told you there's a single penny hiding in your home that could be worth $693,000? Not in some faraway collector's vault. Not in a museum. But in your junk drawer. Or stuck between the couch cushions. Or sitting silently in that old jar you haven't opened in years. You see, in 1993, a Lincoln Memorial penny was minted in Denver with a tiny, nearly invisible detail. A D mint mark. Just one character. But paired with an ultra-rare error, it created one of the most valuable coins in modern US history. People are tossing these pennies every day, never knowing they've thrown away the down payment on a mansion. Pause, think. About that, you're out there working 9 to 5, budgeting, dreaming of retirement. Meanwhile, a tiny copper coin in your possession could erase all your money worries forever. Let's dig into what makes the 1993 Lincoln penny so rare, so valuable, and how to identify if you've struck gold. But first, ask yourself, have you checked your old pennies lately? Let's rewind to 1993. Bill Clinton had just become president. Jurassic Park was roaring through theaters, and millions of Lincoln pennies were being minted in Denver. But here's the twist. Among those millions, a microscopic number of coins came out with anomalies so subtle that even seasoned collectors missed them for years. These rare 1993 pennies are now being appraised and auctioned for amounts that would make your jaw drop. We're talking six-figure payouts. Some specimens are going for over $693,000 and rising. So, what's the secret? First, it's all about mint errors, things like off-center strikes, double dies, or a misaligned planchet. In the 1993 series, certain pennies were struck with misprints that created doubling on Lincoln's face or the memorial steps. Others were pressed using older dies, giving them a unique sheen or thickness. A few even had a bronze-copper composition mistakenly used from prior years. These alone are insanely valuable. Wait a minute, you're telling me one of these pennies is worth more than my Tesla? Yes. And it doesn't even need charging. So how do you know if you've got the penny? The boldness of the D-mint mark, signs of doubling on Lincoln's eye, or the words, "In God we trust." A slightly off-center strike, a heavier or lighter weight than a standard penny. Even a tiny variation can mean the difference between pocket change and a life-changing windfall. But here's the danger. Most people either spend it unknowingly or sell it too cheap. Don't be that person. Imagine this. You walk into your garage, pull out that old coffee tin filled with pennies, and there it is, the 1993 mint mark. You weigh it, examine the details, and suddenly it matches every sign of the rare six-figure version. That's not just luck, that's awareness. And the market right now is hot. Coin collectors across the globe are in a frenzy. Wealthy investors are pouring cash into rare coins as a hedge against inflation, and auction houses are lining up to showcase the next big discovery. And here's the thing. There's one specific die error on a 1993 penny that has never been publicly identified. Yet insiders say it could break the $1 million mark. What if you're the one holding that exact penny? Let that sink in. You're not just collecting coins anymore. You're collecting opportunities. You're holding the key to early retirement, a new home, a better life. Honestly, if I found a $693,000 penny, I'd name it, frame it, and sleep next to it for a week. But hey, maybe you're braver than me. Check your old pennies, especially the 1993 Lincoln memorials. Look for weight differences, visual oddities, and die variations. If you think you've got something, get it professionally graded and fast. The clock is ticking. Every day, people are waking up to discover that a simple copper coin was the $1 million answer they've been waiting for. You could be next. If you found this video helpful or exciting, hit that subscribe button right now. We've got more hidden coin secrets coming your way every week. You don't want to miss the next penny that could make you a millionaire. Turn on notifications, search your coins, and always remember, sometimes, wealth isn't in the bank. It's in your pocket. Imagine holding something so small it fits between your fingers but powerful enough to change your entire financial future. What if I told you that a simple 1-cent Lincoln penny from 1967, with no mint mark, could be worth up to $697,000 right now? Sounds impossible? That's what most people think, until they realize one may be sitting inside an old coffee can, hidden in a drawer, or quietly aging in a dusty coin jar. Today, we're peeling back the layers on the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. Why it's shaking up the coin world, how a tiny mistake turned into a life-changing asset, and what you need to look for to know if you're sitting on a gold mine. Stay tuned, because I'm about to show you how something nearly worthless in 1967 is now one of the hottest tickets to generational wealth. And who knows, your forgotten penny might just be your retirement plan in disguise. Let's rewind the clock. It's 1967. The Beatles are on the radio. Gas is 33 cents a gallon. And millions of pennies are rolling off the mint presses. Except here's the twist. This was during a coin shortage, and to speed up production, the US Mint made a controversial decision. They stopped using mint marks entirely, so every penny made in Philadelphia that year, no mint mark. To the untrained eye, they look just like billions of others. But buried among them, rare versions exist with slight variations, errors, or preservation so pristine. They've fetched hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. One coin recently shocked the market. A collector discovered a 1967 penny with razor-sharp details, a rich copper-red luster, and zero signs of wear. That coin sold for a staggering $697,000. Think about that. A 1-cent piece that outperformed a Porsche, a beach house, and most people's 401k plans. Pattern interrupt. Now quick question. How many of us have tossed our change into a jar without a second thought? Yeah. Guilty. But after this video, you'll never look at your loose change the same way again. Let's dive into what makes this penny valuable. Key signs to look for: no mint mark under the date. This confirms it's a Philadelphia coined double die obverse, where letters or numbers appear doubled, off-center strikes, or coins that show unusual coloring due to metal composition inconsistencies. Coins that never entered circulation or were stored in airtight conditions can skyrocket in value. Now here's the scary part. Most people who find these coins don't even realize what they have. They either spend it, sell it cheap, or worse, lose it. Cliffhanger moment, but there's one more twist to this story. Because not all 1967 pennies are created equal. And there's a specific detail that separates a penny worth 1 cent from one worth close to $1 million. I'll tell you exactly what that is in just a moment. But first, let me ask you this: if you had a coin worth 6 figures in your house, would you even know how to identify it? Here it is, the $1 million difference. Some of the most valuable 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies have a perfect full strike on both the obverse and reverse, meaning all the fine details, like Lincoln's hair, the memorial steps, and the word Liberty, are crisp and flawless. Add in that original reddish copper glow and zero scratches, and you're staring at a 6-figure coin. So what should you do if you think you have one? Get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Even small differences in condition can mean tens or hundreds of thousands in value. Pattern interrupt, and before you run off to Google where to sell old coins near me, pause, because the biggest mistake people make is selling too soon, to the wrong buyer, or without knowing the full worth. Seamless transition into empowerment. What if instead of being a seller who gets swindled, you became a smart collector who cashes in wisely? That's the power of knowledge. That's the power of this channel. We're not just talking about coins. We're talking about building wealth with what you already have, sitting right under your nose. So here's what I want you to do. Grab that jar of coins. Open that old drawer. Check those rolls of pennies you've had for years. Because the next 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny to sell for nearly $700,000 could be sitting right inside your home. And if you want more strategies on spotting rare coins, selling them for top dollar, and turning your collection into cash, subscribe now. This is just the beginning. Every coin has a story. Let's make yours a $1 million one. What if I told you that one penny, one old copper coin from 1975, could be worth $695,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. A single 1975 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is making headlines among collectors and changing lives. Now imagine this. You're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe going through your late father's coin jar. You're just about to throw a handful of pennies into the Coinstar machine. Then one coin catches your eye. It looks ordinary, but hidden in plain sight is a penny that could buy you a beach house, or fund your retirement, or erase every single debt you have. Sound far-fetched? Keep watching, because what you're about to learn could literally put 6 figures in your hand, and all it takes is one coin. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for and how to cash in. Let's rewind a bit. The year is 1975. Gas is cheap, bell-bottoms are in, and Lincoln pennies are being minted by the millions. But something strange happened that year, and it has everything to do with mint marks. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark. That's standard. But in rare cases, the absence of a mint mark on a 1975 penny means much more than that. Because of a minting anomaly, a very small number of 1975 pennies were struck with unique die errors, misalignments, and rare copper compositions, and those specific coins with no mint mark are now being hunted by collectors worldwide. And get this, One of those coins recently sold $4,695,000. Yes. A penny. Not a typo. $695,000. Let that sink in for a second. Now, before you run to your coin jar, let's break down what makes this coin so valuable. First, rarity. Only a handful of these high-value 1975 no-mint mark pennies are believed to exist in pristine or near-pristine condition. We're talking about MS65 grade or higher, that's mint state, practically untouched. Second, certain 1975 pennies contain die cracks, off-center strikes, or double dies. These mint errors increase value dramatically. Ever seen a penny where Lincoln's head looks like he's had one too many? That's called a double die, and it can make the difference between pocket change and a new Porsche. Quick pause. Do you know what your penny is made of? Because here's the kicker. Some of these 1975 pennies were struck using a unique copper alloy, different from the usual composition. Experts believe it may have been a transitional mistake, but it turned those coins into six-figure collectibles. Now, here's where things get real. You might be holding one of these rare 1975 pennies without even knowing it. They weren't released in special packaging. They weren't gold-plated. They look almost identical to regular coins. But like treasure buried in sand, their value is invisible until you know where to look. Let me ask you this, when was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? Probably never, right? Be honest. Most of us treat pennies like ants at a picnic, annoying everywhere, and we're just trying to get rid of them. But right now, those ants, they might just be carrying away your fortune. Let's keep the momentum going. Collectors, auction houses, and private investors are currently scanning old coin collections like hawks. They're paying top dollar for high-grade 1975 no-mint mark pennies, and the competition is heating up. These coins don't sit around for long. Once spotted, they vanish into the hands of private collectors. And when that happens, good luck ever seeing them again. So here's the real question. Do you have one? And if you do you know what to do next? Here's your roadmap. Go through your old coins. Pay special attention to Lincoln pennies from 1975 with no mint mark. Use a magnifying glass, details matter. Check for errors. Look for doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's profile. Off-center strikes, die cracks, unusual colors or weight. Get it graded. Reach out to reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC. A coin in MS 65 or higher could be your ticket to six figures. And here's the final piece of advice. Don't sell it to your neighbor or a pawn shop. Don't let someone talk you out of a fortune. Know what it's worth, because you could be sitting on a once-in-a-lifetime payday. Imagine waking up tomorrow and realizing you've been walking on a gold mine your whole life. That dusty coffee can in the garage? That forgotten drawer in your dad's toolbox? It could be holding the very coin that changes your life forever. Still think a penny isn't worth your time? Before you go, hit that subscribe button, because I'm sharing more stories like this, coins hiding in plain sight that are worth millions. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Your journey to a wealthier life might just start with a penny. Thanks for watching, and remember, wealth doesn't always shine. Sometimes it's copper. Imagine walking past a small glass jar of coins on your kitchen shelf. Dusty, ignored, forgotten. Now imagine finding out one of those pennies is worth $680,000. That's not a fantasy. That's the real market value of a rare 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln Memorial penny. Yes, you heard right. 1 cent turned into almost $750,000. Now, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your change? Because this specific penny isn't just rare, it's transforming ordinary Americans into accidental millionaires. But there's a catch, and most people are missing it. This isn't just about luck. It's about awareness. It's about knowing what to look for before someone else finds it in your drawer. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to identify this exact coin, understand why it's so valuable, and maybe, just maybe, realize you've been sitting on a gold mine all along. Let's uncover the million-dollar secrets hiding in plain sight. To understand the value of the 1980 Lincoln penny, we first need to step back. Picture this. It's 1980. America is recovering from economic shocks. Gas prices are climbing. A loaf of bread costs 50 cents. Ronald Reagan is campaigning, and most folks are tossing pennies into jars without a second thought. Among these coins, the U.S. Mint releases the standard Lincoln Memorial penny. Usually, coins minted in Denver or San Francisco carry the familiar D or S mint marks. But then something odd happens. Some coins are struck without any mint mark at all. At first glance, they look normal, copper-colored. Lincoln's side profile. In God we trust. Nothing fancy. But to collectors and experts, that missing mint mark is like a neon sign that screams, "I'm rare." But not every no-mint penny is valuable. This is where things get interesting. The 1980 Philadelphia minted pennies typically don't carry a mint mark, so it's easy to overlook them. So, what makes this one worth $680,000? It all comes down to a perfect storm of error, scarcity, and condition. Only a handful of these 1980 no-mint mark pennies were struck with a highly detailed die, giving them sharper features than usual. Some were misstruck slightly off-center. Others have a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's features are subtly but visibly doubled. When combined with a flawless copper luster, a clean field, and sharp edges, these coins became ultra-desirable. And here's the kicker: many of them are still out there in piggy banks, in basements, in old wallets, maybe even in your car's cup holder. Now, if you're suddenly thinking about raiding your couch cushions like Indiana Jones, you're not alone. But hold off, we're about to go deeper. So how do you know if your 1980 penny is the one? The one worth nearly $700,000. There's a precise checklist to follow. And one tiny detail most people miss, which means they throw away life-changing money without ever realizing it. Let's break it down. No mint mark. First and foremost, the area just under the year must be completely blank. No D, no S. Coppertone 1980 was one of the final year's pennies were made entirely of copper. If your coin feels heavier and has a reddish-orange shine, that's a good sign. Double die features: use a magnifier and inspect Lincoln's I, the letters Liberty, and In God We Trust. Doubling there can mean serious money. Uncirculated or mint state, the coin must be in pristine condition. That means minimal scratches, no wear, and a glossy surface. Weight check: a standard copper penny should weigh 3.11 grams. Use a digital scale to confirm. Now here's where things get exciting. If your coin matches this profile, it's time to stop everything and get it appraised by a professional. Several of these 1980 no-mint mark pennies have already sold in private auctions for over $500,000, with one verified sale topping $680,000, and the demand is only growing. Every day that passes, more of these coins are either lost, damaged, or unknowingly spent. That means the few that remain untouched, their value just keeps climbing. I spoke with a retired schoolteacher from Ohio who discovered one of these rare coins in a candy tin her father had kept for decades. She was days away from donating it to a coin drive. Instead, she cashed in with a final sale price of $612,000. She paid off her house, took her grandchildren to Europe, and finally opened the bakery she dreamed about since she was 25, all from a penny. This isn't just a story about coins, it's a story about how awareness creates opportunity. How something as small as a penny can change your entire financial future. So here's what I want you to do. Go check your coin jars. Dig into those drawers. Look at your old collections, because the next rare penny could be in your hands right now. And if you want more insider tips, coin spotting tricks, and real strategies to turn your spare change into serious wealth, subscribe now. This channel is your go-to guide for finding coins worth money and building a richer future. Your journey to hidden treasure starts now. Don't let it slip through your fingers. What if I told you that a single penny, one that's been sitting in your drawer, your attic, or even your car cup holder, could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even millions of dollars? Imagine this. You bend down to pick up a penny off the sidewalk. It's dirty. It's worn. You almost ignore it. But that coin, that forgotten cent, might be the key to changing your financial future forever. Right now, across America, collectors are shelling out serious cash for rare pennies, some as much as six-figure checks for what looks like pocket change. Today, we're diving into the 1981 Lincoln Memorial cent with no mint mark, a seemingly ordinary coin with an extraordinary story. And if you're thinking, "Pfft, it's just a penny," Then get ready to have your reality flipped upside down. Stick with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot a valuable penny, and how you could turn an old cent into a $681 treasure, or much more. Let's rewind to 1981. Ronald Reagan was about to take office. MTV hadn't aired yet, and in the quiet corners of the Philadelphia Mint, millions of Lincoln pennies were being struck without a mint mark. Standard practice at the time. So what makes these coins so special now? Here's where the story takes a sharp twist. Most 1981 pennies are worth face value, but a select few, and I mean ultra-rare specimens, have shown up with misstrikes, double dies, off-center prints, and other hidden minting errors. These anomalies turn a common penny into a high-value collectible. Collectors call them ghost rarities. They blend in perfectly with the ordinary ones. You could have one in your house right now and not even know it. And when one shows up in near-perfect mint state condition, we're talking full detail, no scratches, bright red luster, that's when the bidding wars start. Recently, one such penny sold for $681, and experts say others could fetch 10 times that value if the right error is discovered. Let me ask you this: when's the last time you really looked at your change? Not just glanced, really inspected it. Because that 1 cent could become your six-figure payday. Now here's a funny thought. Somewhere out there, someone bought a coffee with a penny that could have bought them a condo. Wild, right? So, how do you know if your 1981 penny is valuable? Start here. First, check underneath the date. If there's no mint mark, congratulations, you might be holding a Philadelphia cent. That's your starting point. Doubling of letters or numbers, off-center design, blurry or ghosted Lincoln Memorial, unusual shine or metal tone. Then inspect its condition. If it's uncirculated, or even lightly circulated, do not clean it. Just store it safely. Cleaning can actually damage its value. Here's a transition tip. Place it in a coin sleeve, take high-resolution photos, and get it graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC. That grading alone can skyrocket its market worth. And if you're wondering where to sell, rare coin auctions, online platforms like eBay, and specialized dealers are always on the hunt. One small error could mean a huge payout. Still think it's just a penny? Let's leave you with this. Somewhere right now, a coin collector is willing to pay thousands, maybe even millions, for a rare penny just like yours. Will it be yours? Or will it stay hidden in a dusty jar for another decade? You've seen the value. You've heard the facts. You've felt the urgency. So the only question left is, are you going to check your coins? Or let someone else cash in on your hidden fortune? Don't let your millionaire moment slip away in silence. Subscribe now for more powerful strategies, secret coin tips, and stories of everyday people turning pocket change into luxury lifestyles. Hit that bell icon, because the next coin we uncover might just be sitting in your home, and it could be worth far more than $681. Your wealthy life might already be in your hands. What if I told you that a single 1986 Lincoln penny, the kind you might find tucked in a forgotten drawer or loose in a coffee can, could sell for hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars? That's right, 1 cent, no mint mark, one decision that could change everything. Most people miss it, but you're not most people. You're here because you're starting to realize that in a world where every penny counts, some count for a lot more. Today, we're diving into the story of a plain-looking copper coin that could fund your next vacation, or maybe more. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it matters, and how to turn pocket change into real wealth. So stay with me. Don't blink. You may just have one of these in your house right now. Let's rewind a little. The year is 1986. Ronald Reagan is president. The Challenger disaster shocks the nation. And in the U.S. Mint, millions of pennies are being struck. But among these, something unusual happens. Most coins bear a mint mark, either D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or P for Philadelphia. But some 1986 pennies were released without any mint mark at all. Now here's the twist. Most no-mint mark coins are made in Philadelphia. But in 1986, a few were minted without that P mark due to a die error or early press run, making them far rarer than anyone realized. What looks like a regular penny is anything but. These coins often slip past dealers and collectors, but when one in pristine condition surfaces, especially with no wear, strong strike, and that missing mint mark, it can sell for hundreds. One near-perfect example fetched $686 recently. others in air grade or unique shades, even more. Now imagine finding 5 or 10. Pause for a second. Ask yourself, have you ever checked the date and mint mark on your spare change? Really checked. Go ahead, smile. Most people don't. And that's where the opportunity lives. Quick question. What's more satisfying? Finding a forgotten $20 bill in your jeans? Or realizing the coin your kid glued to a school project is worth a car payment? Okay, maybe not the glue part, but you get the idea. This is the moment in the movie when the underdog suddenly discovers their lottery ticket wasn't just for fun. But we're not done yet. Let's take it deeper. So, how do you identify a valuable 1986 no mint mark penny? No visible mint mark below the year sharp, clear features on Lincoln's profile and lettering copper red tone without discoloration, little to no wear, preferably uncirculated or MS. Mint state. Condition is everything. A worn coin might get you a couple bucks, but one in mint condition, that's where the $686 plus game starts. Some rare varieties may also show doubling in the text, slight die cracks, or unusual metal blends. These can bump the price drastically. But here's the kicker. Many of these coins are sitting in old family jars, dusty attic boxes, or your grandma's sewing kit right now. They've been overlooked for decades. Why? Because they look normal. And that, my friend, is the ultimate disguise. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. You might be thinking, okay, I get it, it's rare. But why would someone pay this much for a single penny? Great question. The answer? Rarity is only half the story. The other half is demand. And that's what we're exploring next. Because a coin's true value isn't just in what it's made of, but in who wants it, how badly, and how few others have it. Stick around, because this is where the value explodes and where your opportunity becomes real. Let's zoom out. There are thousands of coin collectors across the US. Many specialize in penny errors, anomalies, and mintless issues. Every year, more collectors enter the game, and the supply of mint condition 1986 no mint mark pennies is not growing, it's shrinking. Simple economics. When demand rises and supply falls, value skyrockets. Now here's what most people never do. They never check what's already in their possession. But you're already ahead. You're learning how to spot value where others see junk. You're discovering how the smallest things, like a 1-cent coin, can be the key to a wealthier life. And that, truly, is what separates those who dream from those who do. So before you toss out another penny, before you let one slip through your hands, ask yourself, is this the one that changes everything? What if I told you the next video reveals even more valuable coins hiding in your house right now? What if there are nickels worth $10,000, dimes worth even more? But you'll never know if you don't look. So here's your challenge. Grab that old coin jar, get a magnifying glass, start flipping, and hit subscribe, because in the next episode we're diving into a coin that's so rare, most dealers won't believe you have it until you show them. This journey is just beginning. Wealth doesn't always come in stacks. It can start with a single cent. You just need to know what to look for. And now you do. What if I told you that a single penny you've been ignoring in your drawer could be worth more than your monthly paycheck? Sounds crazy, right? But in the world of rare coins, crazy is normal. And today we're talking about the 1987 Lincoln Memorial Penny with no mint mark. A coin that could be sitting in your pocket change and has sold for up to $687. That's right. A penny worth nearly 70,000 times its face value. And believe me, that's just the beginning. Some rare penny varieties from the same series are being eyed by collectors for even millions. So before you toss that jar of coins in the Coinstar machine, hold on. You might just be throwing away your retirement fund. Today, we're diving deep into how this unassuming 1987 penny became one of the most talked about coins in recent numismatic history. And why people just like you, aged 30 to 65, are cashing in their coin collections to build wealth, fund dream vacations, or even buy second homes. By the end of this video, you'll know what makes these pennies valuable, how to spot the $1,000,000 versions, and what steps to take if you think you've got one. But be warned, what you're about to learn may change the way you look at loose change forever. Let's begin. Section 1. What makes the 1987 no mint mark penny so special? At first glance, the 1987 penny looks just like any other. Lincoln, as profile, the memorial reverse, the copper-plated zinc. But here's the kicker: no mint mark. Now, this wasn't a mistake. In 1987, all pennies minted in Philadelphia were intentionally struck without a mint mark. But here's where it gets juicy. Not all 1987 no-mint mark pennies are created equal. Some have rare minting errors. Others were struck on bronze planchets left over from pre-1982 coins. A few even show off-center strikes, die cracks, or double dies. Microscopic details that turn this coin from pocket change into treasure. Imagine finding a coin that looks normal, but under a magnifier, it reveals a doubling of the date or letters. That could mean thousands of dollars. One verified auction recorded a 1987 penny with a strong off-center strike and doubling that sold for over $687. And some collectors believe that rarer varieties from this year are still unaccounted for. Think about that, a coin that costs 1 cent to make could be worth more than a high-end MacBook. Pattern interrupt, now pause for a moment. Have you ever bent down to pick up a penny in the parking lot? Most people don't bother, unless they're over 60 and raised by Depression-era parents. But what if that penny was the one that paid off your mortgage? Still not bending over? Yeah, I thought so. Section 2. How to identify a valuable 1987 penny. So, how do you know if you've got the jackpot version? No mint mark on the obverse, beneath the date. Weigh the coin. If it's closer to 3.1 grams, you might have a bronze planchet error. Check for visual abnormalities, die cracks, doubling, off-center strikes. Examine the color. A bright red coin with full luster is far more desirable than one that's dull or corroded. Use a 10x magnifier or microscope to scan for microscopic flaws or doubling. And here's the secret sauce. Coin grading. A 1987 penny in mint state, MS 67 or above, can command high value just based on condition alone. Collectors pay top dollar for pristine examples because they're rare to find in circulation. And just wait until you hear about the penny discovered in a cookie jar in Kansas, worth over $12,000 due to a hidden mint error. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, let's connect the dots. You're probably wondering, why does any of this matter to me? Well, here's why. If you're 30 to 65 and looking for ways to build financial freedom without winning the lottery or launching a side hustle, your solution might be lying inside an old shoebox or coin jar. People all over the country are turning their coin collections into six-figure windfalls. And it starts with awareness. So many of us have these rare pennies and nickels in our homes, handed down through generations or simply saved over the years. But they stay hidden in darkness, gathering dust, while their value keeps rising. Right now, collectors are hunting these coins with urgency. Every year that goes by, more are lost, damaged, or cashed in unknowingly. That drives value even higher. If that doesn't light a fire under you, I don't know what will. And now, the cookie jar story. That a man in Topeka, Kansas was going through his late father's belongings. He found a rusted cookie jar filled with coins. Among them, a nearly flawless 1987 no-mint mark penny with a dramatic off-center strike and die clash. The coin was authenticated, graded MS-68, and later sold for over $12,000 at auction. 1 penny. 1 jar. 1 life changed. So what are you waiting for? Go check your change, open those coin folders, and dig through grandma's junk drawer. That single cent could be your $1,000,000 moment. Final pattern interrupto, and if you find one, don't spend it on coffee. Unless it's the kind that comes with a beachfront view in the Bahamas. If you found this video valuable, hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin hunters. We've got more deep dives coming. Rare nickels, error quarters, million, dollar dimes, and we'll show you exactly how to spot them. Turn your spare change into serious wealth. Your journey to financial freedom could start with a single penny. Thanks for watching. Now go chase that treasure. End screen suggestions. Watch next. Top 5 rare pennies worth over $100,000. Subscribe. Join 100,000 plus coin collectors growing wealth from coins. Bonus download. Free guide. How to grade your coins for maximum value. Have you ever walked past a penny lying on the ground and thought, it's just 1 cent, not worth picking up? Well, what if I told you that penny could be worth $695 today? And in some rare cases, even up to $1,000,000. Yes, a single copper-colored coin, no larger than a thumbnail, could hold the power to change your financial destiny. It's not magic. It's not hype. It's real, and it's sitting quietly in millions of homes across the country, maybe even in yours. Today, We're uncovering the mystery behind the 1995 Lincoln Memorial D Mint Mark penny. It's one of those everyday coins with a not-so-everyday story. An underdog of the coin world, rising in value, demanding attention, and minting millionaires. Now before you rush to the coin jar in your kitchen drawer, stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal may change how you see pocket change forever. And let's be honest, if you're over 30, living in the US, and you've kept even one old coin from the 90s just in case, you're already ahead of the game. But are you sitting on a fortune without knowing it? Let's find out. Let's rewind to 1995. It was the year of the OJ trial, Windows 95, and Toy Story. But while the world was distracted with dial-up internet, something curious was happening at the Denver Mint. Pennies were being struck by the millions, as usual. But some of these coins were different. Now here's the twist. Most people assume every penny from the 90s is junk change. But the 1995 D. Lincoln Memorial penny has developed a serious following in the numismatic world. So what makes this coin valuable? First, it's the mint mark. That small D beneath the date signifies Denver, a mint known for its crisp, high-pressure coin strikes. But certain 1995 D coins exhibit misalignments, weak strikes, and double dies, flaws that collectors crave. Second, condition matters. A circulated 1995 D penny in your sock drawer might be worth just a few bucks. But a pristine, uncirculated version? That's where the stakes rise. Graded MS 67 or above, this coin can sell for hundreds, and exceptional examples have crossed the $695 mark in recent auctions. That's 69,500 times its original value. Try getting that kind of return from your savings account. Pattern interrupt. Ever looked at a penny so long you started to wonder if Lincoln is smirking at you? No? Just me? Anyway, third, the rarity factor. While millions were minted, only a tiny fraction remain in top-grade condition today. Most were used, abused, or tossed aside. That scarcity is what drives prices into the thousands, even approaching the $1 million mark for minting errors in proof-like condition or rare die varieties. Now here's where it gets exciting and a little bit nerve-wracking. There's a known version of the 1995 D penny with a double die obverse, meaning Lincoln's face and the text appear slightly duplicated, almost ghost-like to the average person. It just looks off. To a collector, it's a jackpot. So what should you be looking for? The 1995 date with a bold, clean D underneath any doubling on the words Liberty, or In God We Trust, a sharp, rich copper shine with no scratches and bonus points if it's been sealed in a protective sleeve. Even if your penny doesn't look perfect, don't toss it. Some lower-grade coins still go for $20 to $100. Multiply that by a handful of them, and suddenly, your junk drawer's the best-performing asset in your house. So what now? Do you race to your coin jar? Dig through that old coffee can of change in the garage? Call your mom and ask if she still has that box of weird pennies from the 90s? Absolutely. Because here's the truth. Most people have no idea they're sitting on coins that could be worth thousands or even millions. And while others scroll social media or wait for the next big stock tip, you have an opportunity hiding in plain sight. Remember, wealth doesn't always come from hard labor. Sometimes it comes from knowledge, timing, and knowing the value of what's already in your hand. Don't let fear of what if stop you from exploring what could be. Cliffhanger. And here's a teaser. There's another penny from the 90s with a shocking error that's gone for nearly $1.20 million, and it looks almost identical to this one. But that's a story for another day. If you found this eye-opening, make sure to subscribe now, because I'm revealing the rarest coins hiding in plain sight and giving you the knowledge to profit from them. Like, share, comment if you think you've got a 1995 D penny lying around. And remember, that 1 cent in your hand, it might just be your $1 million miracle. Imagine finding a penny in your kitchen drawer, something you've passed over 100 times. It looks ordinary, copper-toned, worn edges. But what if I told you that this 1-cent coin from 2006 could actually be worth more than your car, more than your mortgage, and in some rare cases, worth millions of dollars? Sounds crazy, right? But this isn't a fairy tale. It's a financial wake-up call. Today, we're talking about the 2006 D Mint Mark Lincoln Memorial penny, a coin that most people throw in jars, ignore at gas stations, or drop between their car seats. Yet, under the right conditions, this small piece of copper could Change your life. So before you toss out your old change or spend that penny without a second glance. Stay with me, because the next 10 minutes could be the most profitable coffee break you've ever had. And just a heads up, about 7 minutes in, I'll reveal one unusual feature on this coin that could instantly add several zeros to its value. But let's not rush. Let's go deeper into the story. A coin born in change the year 2006. America was transitioning, economically and culturally. Gas prices were rising, tech was exploding, and the housing market was heating up. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint quietly released billions of Lincoln pennies into circulation. Most of them, practically worthless. But a small percentage, less than a fraction of a fraction, were struck with unusual characteristics at the Denver Mint. Now, here's where it gets interesting. These weren't obvious errors like missing dates or off-center strikes. Some of the most valuable 2006 pennies have almost invisible mistakes. We're talking double die obverse, clipped planchets, die cracks, and, wait for it, transitional errors where the metal composition doesn't match the official records. Kind of like when you order coffee and get champagne by accident, and somehow no one notices. What makes 1 penny worth $6.95 or $1 million? Let's zoom in on what sets apart a valuable coin. Condition is king. Collectors look for pennies in mint state, coins that have never been touched by human hands, showing full detail and minimal wear. A 2006 in MS67 or above. It could fetch hundreds, sometimes thousands, at auction. But that's just the appetizer. Add in a die variety, say, a double ear on Lincoln or a misaligned strike, and the price jumps dramatically. We've seen certified 2006 errors hit the $695 mark in recent auctions. Still with me? Because now we head into dangerous territory. The $1 Million Club. The $1 Million Mystery. A few rare 2006 Lincoln cents have shown characteristics not officially documented by the U.S. Mint. One was rumored to be struck on a foreign planchet, a blank intended for a different country's coin. Another had a deep die gouge behind Lincoln's neck, forming what collectors call a spiked head, and it sold under the table for a rumored six-figure price. Some coin insiders believe a prototype die may have accidentally been used at the Denver Mint. These coins? Near mythical. If you've got one, you're sitting on a private vault. And here's your cliffhanger. I'm going to show you how to spot the telltale signs in just a moment. But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time you really looked, at your pennies? Exactly. Your penny hunting playbook. So, how do you know if your 2006 Lincoln penny is the jackpot coin? Mint mark. Look just below the date. It must be a clear D double die features. Use a magnifier to check Lincoln's eyes, ears, and letters in Liberty, and in God we trust. Weird shapes or cracks. Die chips, cut marks, or odd blobs of metal luster and color. Original red shine can increase the coin's grade dramatically. Wait. If you suspect a foreign planchet, get it weighed. Anything off standard is a red flag worth exploring, and here's the big one. Have your coin graded. PCGS or NGC certified coins don't just carry value. They carry authority in the market. From junk drawer to jackpot. I'll leave you with a story. A woman in Nebraska, a retired nurse, found a 2006 penny in a box of old tax papers. She noticed a strange raised line on Lincoln's coat. Turns out, it was a die break. She got it certified, listed it in an auction, and walked away with over $1,200 from 1 penny. Imagine what you could do with an extra $1,000 or $10,000 or $1 million. What dreams have you put off because you didn't think you had the money? Well, maybe it's been hiding in your pocket all along. Part 3. Call to action with urgency and vision. You've got old coins. You've got a shot. But timing is everything. Coin values are rising as collectors scramble to complete sets and dealers hunt for hidden gems. So here's your next move. Go check your drawers, your piggy banks, your glove compartments. Look for that 2006 penny. Examine it. Question it. Because one small coin might hold the keys to a brand new lifestyle. If this video opened your eyes, hit that subscribe button. We've got more rare coin strategies, insider tips, and real-life stories of people turning pocket change into fortunes. Don't let your future collect dust. Be the one who finds gold where others saw copper. What if I told you that a single 2016 Lincoln penny without a mint mark could quietly be sitting in your home right now, worth up to $996? Yes, a coin worth just 1 cent, Now close to 1,000. And here's the real kicker. Some variations of this coin have triggered bidding wars. Collectors are obsessed. Why? Because these rare cents are often hiding in plain sight. Imagine finding just 10 of them. That's nearly $10,000 without lifting anything heavier than a penny. Stay with me, because in this video we're going deep into the world of the 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. What makes it valuable, how to spot the ultra-rare ones, and how you could flip pocket change into real wealth. You don't want to miss this. Quick attention reset. Ever looked at a penny and thought, you're not even worth picking up off the ground? Well, grab that coin, because it might be worth more than your car's monthly payment. Let's get started. The origin of the coin. Let's rewind to 2016. The U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents that year. Most were minted in Philadelphia and therefore bear no mint mark. So what's the big deal? It's what happened within that massive production run that makes this coin so fascinating. Among the billions, a small number were struck with unusual errors, die cracks, off-center strikes, double dies, and even strange discolorations caused by planchet flaws. These errors are rare, and rarity is what turns copper into cash. Pattern interrupt. Rhetorical humor. Think of it like finding a typo on a dollar bill. If it's rare enough, collectors go wild for it. And unlike your uncle's conspiracy theories, this is actually worth money. What makes the 2016 penny without a mint mark so valuable? The no-mint mark version of this coin is from the Philadelphia Mint. Most are worth a cent, but here's the twist. Certain error coins have been sold for $100, $500, and even up to $996, depending on condition, luster, and rarity. Let me break it down. Where Lincoln's features or the date are slightly doubled. These are collector magnets. Objects accidentally embedded into the coin during striking. Think of lint, cloth, even grease. Sounds odd, but collectors love the story behind it. If your 2016 penny has no scratches, deep red shine, and sharp details, it could grade a 67 or higher, instantly inflating its value. These are gold mines waiting to be opened. Real stories. Real money. One collector in Ohio found a 2016 penny with a dramatic off-center strike at a garage sale in a jar of coins. It sold on eBay for over $750. Another man in Florida submitted his 2016 penny to PCGS. It graded MS67 red with a small die crack. His final auction price? $996. So, what if you're holding one right now and don't even know it? How to spot and sell a valuable 2016 penny. Grab a magnifying glass. Check your penny under strong light. Look for doubling on the date or Liberty. Tiny cracks along Lincoln's collar or head. Unusual surfaces or metal textures. Clean, glossy finish without scratches. Found something promising. Get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Graded coins are more trusted and fetch higher prices. Then, listed on auction sites like eBay, Great Collections, or Heritage Auctions. And watch collectors do the rest. Why this matters right nowhere's why you should act today. The coin market is booming. Interest in rare pennies is skyrocketing, especially among new investors and collectors who are flooding in with cash and curiosity. And while the market is hot, these coins are getting scarcer by the day. Another attention reset. Light humor. You might want to stop tossing your pennies into a soda machine. That could be a $1,000 mistake. Let me leave you with this thought. We often chase money in the most complicated ways. Stocks, side hustles, overtime. But sometimes, hidden wealth is sitting quietly in a drawer. In a coin JA or in a dusty box from your grandfather's collection. The 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny might just be your golden ticket. You just have to know where to look. Check every 2016 penny you find. Inspect the date. Examine the shine. Look for doubling, cracks, odd strikes. You never know, one coin could change your financial story. If you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe for more strategies to turn pocket change into serious profit. We'll show you how to identify valuable coins, avoid rookie mistakes, and tap into the booming world of coin collecting. Because building wealth doesn't always start with a bank. Sometimes, it starts with a penny.